Imagine a coliseum so massive it defies human architecture, built by the gods for one single brutal purpose. The doors lock, the trumpets sound. 10 of the most terrifying warriors in human history have just been dropped into the sand. We're talking Achilles, Heracles, Beowulf, Gilgamesh, Cú Chulainn, Karna, Arjuna, Sigurd, Rostam, Guan Yu. No armies at their backs, no deities coming down to save them from a fatal blow. This is a fight to the absolute death, and only one gets to walk out alive. But to figure out who actually wins this mythological battle royale, we can't just look at who hits the hardest. We have to look at their divine weapons, their battle IQ, and their fatal flaws. And let me tell you right now, the warrior you think is going to win this is probably going to die in the first 5 minutes. Let the bloodbath begin. In any massive free-for-all, the first casualties are the ones who rely strictly on brute force, which means we have to say goodbye to the heroes of the North. Beowulf is an absolute tank. The man ripped off a monster's arm with his bare hands. But here's the problem. In this arena, he's surrounded by guys wielding armor-piercing celestial weapons. Beowulf likes to grapple. You know who you don't want to grapple? Achilles. Before the Gadish king can even get his hands on anyone, he is getting sliced apart by fighters who move at the speed of light. And right next to him is Sigurd. Yes, he killed the dragon Fafnir. Yes, his sword Gram can slice through an anvil. But Sigurd's legend is built on one-on-one duels and reading his opponent. In a chaotic 10-man brawl where arrows are raining from the sky and the ground is literally shaking, his tactical advantage vanishes. He gets blindsided early, so the mortal heroes are down. But as the dust clears, the arena turns into a nightmare because the shapeshifters have just entered the chat. Across the sand, the Chinese god of war, Guan Yu, is slicing through the chaos. Guan Yu is the ultimate tactician. His green dragon crescent blade weighs 100 pounds, and he wields it like a surgical scalpel. He isn't wasting energy. He is waiting for someone to make a mistake. But you can't use tactics against a natural disaster. Enter Cú Chulainn. The Irish legend takes one hit, loses his temper, and triggers the Rias Thrad, the warp-spasm. His body literally twists inside out. His muscles bulge to the size of boulders, and he becomes a mindless, bloodthirsty monster. He charges blindly at the Persian giant, Rostam. Now, Rostam has defended empires for centuries. He has the strength of an elephant, but facing a mutating berserker. Rostam's legendary horse, Raksh, is instantly taken out. Rostam fights valiantly, but the sheer, unpredictable violence of the warp-spasm overwhelms him. Rostam falls. Guan Yu sees this monster approaching and readies his blade. He goes for the perfect, calculated strike to the neck. But Cú Chulainn doesn't even feel the pain. He absorbs the blow and crushes the general. The tacticians are dead. But Cú Chulainn's rampage is about to hit a brick wall, a wall named Heracles. Heracles doesn't need a weapon to stop a monster. He is the guy who chokes out Nemean lions for fun. Cú Chulainn charges, but Heracles simply catches him. It is a battle of impossible leverage, a literal earthquake of muscle. Heracles snaps the Irish berserker's spine, ending the warp-spasm for good. But Heracles doesn't have time to celebrate, because while the brawlers were fighting in the center, the snipers were setting up on the perimeter. Suddenly, the sky goes dark. It isn't an eclipse, it's a million arrows blocking out the sun, fired in less than a second by Arjuna, the Indian master of the bow. Arjuna doesn't miss. With his celestial bow, Gandiva, he is raining nuclear-level destruction down on the arena. Heracles, for all his strength, is just too big of a target. He tries to power through the storm of arrows, deflecting them with his lion skin cloak. But the sheer volume of Arjuna's divine firepower pins the Greek demigod to the ground. Heracles is out. We are down to the final 3. And this is where the power scaling completely breaks reality. Arjuna's arrows just wiped the map, but one man is walking straight through them without a single scratch. Achilles. Because Achilles is completely invulnerable everywhere except his heel. Ordinary weapons, even divine ones, just bounce off him. Arjuna fires his ultimate shot, but Achilles closes the distance in a blur of motion. He thrusts his spear of Pelian ash, and the greatest archer in the world falls. But Achilles isn't alone. Standing in the ruins is Karna, the tragic hero of India, born with golden armor fused to his skin. And stepping out of the shadows is Gilgamesh, the 2/3 divine king of Uruk, who has been conserving his energy this entire time. Achilles rushes Karna. It's invulnerability versus impenetrable armor. Achilles lands a blow, but Karna's divine armor doesn't yield. Karna draws his ultimate weapon, the Vasavi Shakti, a spear made of pure lightning that never misses and guarantees death. He hurls it at Achilles. It doesn't matter that Achilles has a mortal heel. The weapon annihilates whatever it touches. Achilles is instantly vaporized. It's down to 2, Karna versus Gilgamesh, the man who can endure anything against the king who possesses everything. Karna is exhausted. He just burned his ultimate one-time use weapon to defeat Achilles. Gilgamesh, on the other hand, is at peak stamina. Gilgamesh isn't just a brawler. His endurance is beyond human comprehension, and his sheer physical dominance is unmatched by anyone who doesn't have the word God attached to their name. Karna fights with perfect honor and flawless martial arts, but Gilgamesh fights with the weight of civilization itself. Without his one-shot spear, Karna's golden armor can only delay the inevitable. Gilgamesh breaks through Karna's defenses, not with magic, but with pure, unrelenting, world-shaking force, pummeling the armored warrior until the ground itself cracks open. The dust settles. The trumpets fade. Standing alone in a ruined Colosseum is the first hero ever written into human history. Gilgamesh of Uruk is the deadliest mythological warrior of all time. Do you agree? Or do you think Achilles or Heracles was robbed? Let me know exactly why I'm wrong down in the comments. And if you want to see the gods themselves fight in our next battle royale, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.